Trump crony and campaign legal advisor Jenna Ellis likes to make these media appearances where she defends Donald Trump. She enables his absolute ridiculous lies about widespread voter fraud and how he allegedly won the election by a landslide. I've heard her make that argument. But it turns out that Ellis, much like other Republicans, absolutely hated Donald Trump when he was running in 2016. She had a lot of negative things to say about him that I want to go to right now, including repeatedly slamming then candidate Trump as an idiot who was boorish and arrogant and a bully whose words could not be trusted as factually accurate. She called comments he made about women disgusting and suggested he was not a real Christian. But the way she talks about him now is very different, probably because she's making that paper. Watch.
What you have heard, I'm sure, in the fake newspapers tomorrow will be one of two things. Either there was not sufficient evidence that we've presented, or we spoke too long. Okay, so what you've heard now is basically an opening statement. This is what you can expect to see when we get to court to actually have a full trial on the merits, to actually show this evidence in court and prove our case. This is not a Law and Order episode where everything is neatly wrapped up in 60 minutes. For those of you who are here in this room or have maybe tuned out in other networks, clearly you've never been court reporters. Trials take time. Putting on evidence takes time. This is basically an opening statement so the American people can understand what the networks have been hiding and what they refuse to cover, because all of your fake news headlines are dancing around the merits of this case and are trying to delegitimize what we are doing here.
Yeah.
They have not provided evidence. Their cases keep getting thrown out of court because they're not providing evidence. And anytime they do provide an affidavit, the judge will usually find that it was hearsay, or will find that the person making the accusations has no credibility because all of the other poll workers have a completely different perspective on what actually occurred on election day, and they're all in agreement that there was no voter fraud. I mean, in case after case. Anyway, but this woman knows that he's a liar. Like, she said it in 2016 when she thought that he had absolutely no chance of winning the election. Then he wins, and then she realizes, oh, well, that's where the gravy train is. So I'm gonna go ahead and like basically go against my own principles, go against what I know in my heart, and move forward in supporting the insane claims coming from this insane man and all of his cronies. It's so pathetic and sick. Jesus.
So they have lost every single case. She said, this is an opening statement. No, you already had an opening statement in those court cases, and those court cases already concluded. You had a concluding statement and you lost. That's because you presented no evidence. So now she says, oh, no, now we're starting all over again. And by the way, a lot of them are not even legal cases. In Michigan, they shut down their legal case because they couldn't present any evidence. They voluntarily withdrew it. Now they're just going for the steal. So now they're saying, well, the Michigan Republican legislators should give us the election even though we lost. And we couldn't win in court, we had no evidence. There is no voter fraud, who cares, let's steal it, it's a coup. It's a flat out coup, right? And she says, it's an opening statement. And in a sense, it is, because they've moved on to the new stage, which is, we don't really care what happened. We know we're not gonna win in court. All we're trying to tell you is all of the Republican voters, once Trump tells you something, remember, you do it. There's a guy who wrote an op-ed recently. He said he was at Jonestown, that cult that killed themselves by drinking the Kool-Aid because their cult leader told them to. And he said, what I'm seeing with Trump is the same exact strategy. Drink the Kool-Aid, drink the Kool-Aid, drink the Kool-Aid. So she comes out and says, this is our opening statement. Now, we will tell you that we won the election without any evidence at all. And we will now tell you that we are the winners even though we didn't actually win. Drink the Kool-Aid. Now, look at how despicable she is. She's a person of no character at all. And it's not just about Jenna Ellis, it's about all of them. And I don't mean just all Rudy Giuliani and Trump's lackeys. I mean all the Republican elected officials today. Now, 2.5 weeks past the election, who know all of them, know for a fact that he lost the election and that he's lost every court case and that he's presented no evidence. They're all saying, we don't care. We don't care about democracy at all. And we're now going for the steal. That's what we're going for. And so that's it. We hate America, we hate democracy, and we're gonna try to do a coup, basically. So that's what they're up to. And they all have no character at all. And almost all of them have said the same things. Lindsey Graham said the same things Jenna Ellis said, and worse about Donald Trump. Then he turned around and said, well, I need access to power. He admitted it. He said, I need access to Trump, so now I'm saying nice things about him. Ted Cruz said he was basically gonna kick Donald Trump's ass for calling his wife ugly and his dad a murderer. Then he turned around, phone banked for him, and now he goes around saying, oh yeah, I think maybe Trump won the election, even though he got less votes. That's what I think, yeah. Now he's become his fascist boot-licking lackey. And you saw Jenna Ellis for yourself, the earlier quotes. Ignorant, bully, and what did she say? He's not a real Christian.
Not a real Christian.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
That means he's a fraud, a fake.
Just like her.
And she knows it. Now she turns around and goes, oh, don't believe the fake news who tell you about the evidence. Ignore the evidence and believe us. Even though she knows herself that Donald Trump is a fraud, and now she's getting paid to help that fraud, so she's lying on purpose to all of you.
Let me give you some more of her tweets from 2016, obviously prior to Trump winning the election. This one's from February 28th, 2016, when she tweeted, Trump cannot handle criticism. This is insanely dangerous to the fundamental American value and inalienable right of freedom of speech, okay? She also said on February 29th of 2016, Trump's values are not conservative, but they're also not American.
Now she's trying to help kill the most American value of all, democracy, on behalf of Donald Trump, because he's paying her. Absolutely sick. She's sick. Rudy Giuliani and his leaking brain is sick. Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham are sick. Mitch McConnell is sick. They're all sick. They hate this country. They're unbelievably un-American. And isn't it outrageous that you're only hearing that here? Meanwhile, cable news thinks that they're being tough by laughing. Oh, they're trying to steal democracy. And the Democratic Party is AWOL, nowhere to be found. Well, at least we fight for you. And we're not afraid to tell people the truth. Those are Jenna Ellis's actual quotes, and then you saw her actual video. Anyone who says that she's an honest person is lying to you to protect her feelings. I thought facts didn't care about feelings. I was positive about that. I know I heard that somewhere. And to protect Donald Trump's feelings and Rudy Giuliani's feelings, but most importantly, to protect Republican voters' feelings. Because if you tell them the truth, they're gonna get hurdy-wordy. And they're gonna feel bad about themselves. Oh, that'll hurt our ratings. Oh, we don't wanna hurt our ratings. Oh, okay, even though 68% of Republicans say that this election was rigged and they've lost their minds, even though 50% of Republicans think that the Democratic leadership runs a child sex trafficking ring, we don't wanna offend the feelings of Republicans. I don't mind telling you the reality. That 50% has lost its mind. So these deranged lunatics now have taken over a party in America. And that is super dangerous to all of us and to America itself. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.